What do you think? Let's. Hmm? You don't call anything stakeholders equity, it's shareholders equity. Shareholders equity can be zero or negative. Think of yourself. I mean, some people have more debt than assets they own. You buy a house at 100,000, you borrow 80, house value goes down to 70, you got negative equity. So that can't be. What's guaranteed to be positive in balance sheet? Huh? You may have zero cash, and things don't add up to 100% of the cash. Total assets. Every firm is going to have some dollar worth of assets. And in balance sheet, at least on the left hand side, it's the list of assets. So everything is going to add up to that assets. Well, the right hand side has to be equal anyway. So for balance sheet, we're going to use total assets. For income statement, common size income statement. What's one quantity do you think is guaranteed to be positive? Remember, income statement is list of expenses and revenues, right? That's recognized according to generalized accepted principles of accounting, or generalized accepted accounting, generally accepted accounting principles, GAAP. Hmm? You may have zero expense. What is something that's, if you're a business, guaranteed to be positive? No, revenue. You're going to sell something, right? Whether it's $1 or $1 million, but it's guaranteed to be positive. And if you think about the structure of the income statement, we start from the total revenue, we deduct stuff from that, and to end up with net income, right? So total revenue or sales, net sales, if you think about it. Now let's, in this case, I got only 2 years. If you wanted more, we could have downloaded the 10K. Like, let's download the 10K for, uh, well, let's not. If you want to play with it, you can. If you want more years, if you download the 10K for 2020, it's going to give you 2020 and 2019. That'll make it 4 years. That exercise doesn't mean much now. Now I'm going to do, let's do these. Oops. I'm going to also add a line. Thank you. In case you don't know, if you have two cells and you want to merge them into one, under Home tab, there is this little button under AB here. It's Merge and Center. And I'm going to make the red one. If you don't like my colors, that's your problem. Since I'm going to do that for each item, I'm going to take the item, divide it by total assets. Since I'm going to divide by the same number, I want to fix the row I have a dollar in front of 19. That means when I copy that formula, it will always refer to 19th row. And I want to make that into a percent. Since I didn't fix the column reference, when I copy it, it just shifts it. And for the rest, all I have to do is I'm going to copy those. Do the same thing for these. No, I'm interested in especially these. As you can see, Boeing actually has negative equity. That doesn't necessarily mean that the firm is in trouble. Company like Boeing, a lot of its assets are not even in the books. It's brand value and that sort of stuff. But they have a lot of debt, and they have lost some money recently. Now, if I had a lot more years, I could kind of see a pattern, right? For example, cash and cash equivalents plus short-term or other investments are typically uh, almost cash-like items. I'm interested in those. They're about 10.6% of the assets. By the way, in Excel, whenever you have a selection, this little bar here is called the status bar. It contains some summary measures without you actually calculating anything. And if you right click on it, you can pick what's there. I mean, I want the average, the count, sum, and that sort of stuff. But in 2021, that number was 11.7%. Okay. So now it's 1256. So that has increased. Normally I do these things when I'm analyzing a firm for at least 10 years and I look at the patterns. And there's actually a nice little tool in Excel. If you have a small number of items and you want to do an inline graph, okay, without actually doing graphs, I'm going to do this. I go to Insert. It's called Sparkline. Data range right here. And I want to put it right here. Oops. In this case, it's simple, but if I had 10 of those, it would have created a simple line. Nice thing about these are like formulas. I can actually drag them. Okay. With two of them, obviously you don't need it, but it's not a bad idea. You can also make that into a column if you want to. Insert column. Something like that. All right. Now, let's do the same thing for income statement, which is consolidated statement of operations. Here we have 3 years. So let's do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each of the items, divide by total revenues. 1, 2. If you have F keys, F4 toggles between those different fixes, or simply put a dollar in front of the reference that you want to fix. In this case, it's the row. Obviously, these are blanks. Now let's kind of look at it. I'm interested in this number, okay? So-called gross profit. And I'm going to actually do a little spark line for that. These are in reverse order, but still, I can read a chart from right to left instead of left to right. So it has been going up. And the reason that gross profit was negative in 2020, anybody? Why would Boeing have lost before any other expenses 10% of their revenues in 2020? Somebody else, please. COVID. Most of the flights were down or they didn't have anybody on them. But they're kind of recovering from that. And let's do some of these.